Like Zoink Scoob, first we had to deal with mummies, and now a Loch Ness monster? Like, can our days get even more creepier? Well, Reggie, sometimes life is a crazy thing, especially when it comes to monsters. Like, I can't argue about that, Scooby. Hey guys, it's the media guy here. Today I'm here to share my thoughts on Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. Yes, that's right. This time, Scooby and the gang are dealing with an old Scottish myth. Oh boy, talk about a recipe of mayhem. Now what is this movie about? Scooby-Doo and the crew tackle the scariest mystery yet. Jinkies! Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and the Mystery Inc. crew travel to Scotland on vacation and find themselves unexpectedly tackling the biggest monstrosity ever, the Loch Ness Monster. Does it really exist? Early evidence suggests a scary yes when something gigantic appears outside of the window of Daphne's ancestral family castle. Will Scooby-Doo and the crew solve one of history's longest-running mysteries? Keep your paws crossed as this Highland fling treats you to hilarious Scooby-Doo shenanigans, nail-biting chases, and monstrous thrills. Oh boy! So basically, in a nutshell, the gang are visiting Daphne's cousin Shannon Blink, who's hosting a Scotland sports game, while being terrorized by the legendary Loch Ness Monster, a very famous Scottish legend that has been told for centuries, generations even, and some prove to think that the monster is real or fake. And honestly, what do I think about this movie? It seems pretty harmless. I mean, as usual, great animation, great characters, a cool plot to follow, and it's actually cool to see Mystery Inc. face one of the most scariest monsters, the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, seriously, look at this thing. This thing is like a giant lizard. Okay, it's kind of like a lizard and Godzilla and a giant sea serpent got mixed into a blender and then came out this. Oh, that wasn't meant to be like an insult or anything. I was just trying my best to describe the Loch Ness Monster. This is great, and I think this is actually the first Scooby-Doo direct-to-video film to be based on the What's New Scooby-Doo era. Because as you see on the VHS release of this movie, you can tell that Fred, Velma, and Daphne are in the What's New Scooby-Doo clothes design. I don't think I have any problems with this movie. There are a lot of great things to enjoy from this movie. Like the Haggard brothers playing funny pranks on each other from time to time. And Miss Fiona Pembroke trying to prove to her old boss that the Loch Ness Monster does exist. Which kind of makes sense, considering how for centuries and generations, people in Scotland were trying to figure out if the Loch Ness Monster is just a myth or actually real. In fact, to this day, I think most people are trying to figure out that the monster is real. This movie does have its fair share amount of chase music, and most of it has a real Scottish beat to it, which actually makes sense considering how the entire film takes place in Scotland, which I think is part of the United Kingdom. Yeah, I think both the UK and Scotland are like merged into one big country. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have like relatives who live in Scotland or not. If you do, tell them I said hi. So anyways, Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster sure have a lot of surprises to look forward to. Like this one part where some mysterious hand switched the signs to lead Shaggy and Scooby to a creepy forest since they were driving the Mystery Machine, and they encountered the Loch Ness Monster, and they try their best to outdrive it. There are some clues around throughout the entire film to have the game suspect that the monster might be fake. Like the monster footprints turning into tire tracks is one example. Cause that's suspicious. Even Velma said, "Who's ever heard of a monster with a driver's license?" Okay, I will admit that did get a little chuckle out of me. Cause she does have a point. I mean, I never heard of any type of monster, including the Loch Ness Monster, to have like some kind of driver's license. In fact, I don't even know what that would have looked like at some point. I mean, it would be pretty silly. Another clue that the game suspects is later on when they encounter the Loch Ness Monster in a creepy bayou. When the van was getting torn apart, they notice there's something strange about it. Like it's making some kind of engine noise. They removed the sheet to reveal Del Chillman's van, which Del pointed out later that somebody stole in his van and made it look like the Loch Ness Monster. Oh yeah, this is the first appearance by Del Chillman, who is obsessed about proving to everyone that the Loch Ness Monster exists. I probably mentioned this before in my double feature movie review of Chill Out Scooby-Doo and the Jetsons movie, that Del Chillman first appeared in this movie and will later make a second appearance in Chill Out Scooby-Doo. Now I like Del Chillman. Not only that he seems kind of cool, but he really seems obsessed about finding the Loch Ness Monster and proving to everyone that it exists. Kind of like how Professor Fiona Pembroke wants to prove to everyone that the monster exists. Seems to be a recurring thing in this movie. Now, I'm not gonna give away who the villains are in this movie, because, well, I will let you guys know that there are two Loch Ness Monsters running loose, and two of them are pretty much fakes. Okay, I'm guessing you guys have already figured out who the actual villains are, since I'm pretty sure I must have mentioned their names a few times without noticing until now. Okay, since you guys already figured out, it was Fiona Pembroke who was the second Loch Ness Monster. She created the legend to make everyone think that the monster exists. As for the other one, it was actually the Haggard brothers just wanting to pull a prank on everyone and scare everyone out of the competition. So consider that to be your spoiler alert. Okay? So overall, I think Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster it can be a very enjoyable movie. And if you're not like a big fan of this movie, then that's okay. I know that most people might think that it may not be a perfect movie, but sometimes we all gotta have our favorites at some point. And before I wrap this up, if you guys own the DVD version of this movie, it does come with little bonus features, like some hilarious outtakes of Scooby-Doo the Loch Ness Monster, which unfortunately is not available on the VHS release of the movie, but you can still find it on the DVD version. And well, there's another bonus feature about Shaggy and Scooby showing the viewers different clues about in the movie. Now, I kind of miss it when most of these Scooby-Doo movies would have like special bonus features. I mean, nowadays, if you take a look at some of the more recent Scooby-Doo movies here, like you see on screen, most of them would just have bonus cartoons from other Scooby-Doo shows. But I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. So overall, I'll give this movie 5 Scottish flags out of 5, because that's how great this movie is. And before I go, not only did Grey DeLisle Griffin voice Daphne Blake in this movie, but she even voiced her cousin, Shannon Blake. So it's kind of a double role for Grey here. Nice. So do you guys have any favorite moments from this movie? Just let me know down in the comments below.